Hey guys, what is going on? It's your boy, TheMadKaiger, and up here today, guys, we are back with another Warriors review. Oh yes, as you know, I'm trying to go through all of the Warriors games as of late and do reviews of each individual games before eventually doing an overview video where I go through every Warriors game in the series. In order for me to do that, I need to own every single Warriors game. But today, guys, we are here with the review of Dynasty Warriors 9. This is the latest into the Warriors series in terms of Dynasty Warriors. And is it the greatest? Well, we're going to talk about that. Now, I want to start off by saying that Dynasty Warriors has come a long way. Being a fan from the beginning, guys, back in the day, Dynasty Warriors 2. We don't count Dynasty Warriors 1 because, as we know, Dynasty Warriors 1 was a 1 versus 1 fighting game, very similar to Soul Calibur or something of that vein, until the PlayStation 2 decided to change it up and make it into the well-known series as we know and love. Well, I love. I don't know about you guys. Now, Dynasty Warriors 9 was I remember when I seen the announcement for this game, and it was being told that this game was gonna be completely different. They were completely vamping up the game, changing the combat and changing everything about it. And then the biggest thing that they changed about it was the fact that it was going to be open world. Now, this game has had a lot of controversy around it, being that a lot of people were very disappointed with how empty the game felt and how buggy the game is. Now, we're going to get into the pros and cons as we go on, but I want to start off by saying that after updating the game, I have noticed a few changes, but nothing drastic. But I will say this, guys, being a fan of the Dynasty Warriors series for so long, as we know and love when it comes to the Dynasty Warriors series, it's quite a simple concept. You play as a certain character and you've got a battlefield, loads of enemies to kill, and you can just tear through battlefields just, you know, with giant weapons and swords and spears and all of those great things set in ancient China. Now, this game, I was very excited to hear the fact that the game was going open world because, you know, Dynasty Warriors is quite a contained game. You know, the battlefields tend to just be one little battlefield, and then, you know, you've got your objectives, or you've got like the Empires games, and you know, it's quite a simple concept, but it works. And yes, there are so many Warriors games. It is unbelievable how many Warriors games there are. There's about 60, 70 of these Warriors games, all very similar in concept. But Dynasty Warriors 9 has completely changed up the game. Now, the first thing you will notice with this game is, yes, it is open world. So you've got a big map to explore with all of the usual suspects you would find in an RPG. The game is very RPG orientated, with it being open world. You've got things like side quests you can do, quests, collectibles, crafting, leveling up system, weapon upgrades. All of those great things are found in this game. Now, one of the things I do want to mention is that the game, there are some obviously issues with the game, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But I'm going to start off with what I like about this game. I like the fact that they have changed up the combat. I do like the original style of Warriors combat, don't get me wrong. But in this game, the combat is much more fast-paced. It's simply square is your normal attack, triangle is your breaker attack. And then you hold down R1 and press square, triangle, circle, or X. Or if you're using on the Xbox, you know, Y, A, B on X. And then you obviously get special moves and finishing moves. You still got your moves while attack. And I've got to say, the combat in this game is very similar to Dynasty Warriors 9, in that sort of how it won as, you know, the traditional X, square, triangle, triangle, square, triangle, 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 square, square, triangle, 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 all of those sort of things. And I've got to say, the combat is so much more fast-paced in this game. It's really fast-paced. You can do counter-attacks and special moves and things like that. And I've got to say, I know it's hard for me to really explain it, but I've got to say, I like the new combat, actually. Some people don't like it, and that's fair enough. But I like it. It's nice, it's refreshing, it's something different, and it gives you a lot of new sort of move options and a much faster paced game, which in the open world really makes sense. Now, as the open world goes for this game, is yes, you do have the traditional, you know, side quests, and you can explore and things and find, you know, crafting and stuff like that with your RPG element. But what I really like about this game is how it works is you have the scenarios, for example, like the Yellow Turban, Rebellion, the Dawn's Woe, scenarios, and basically how it works is you have a list of objectives. So your main objective would be to like take out the main commander, but then you've got a bunch of side objectives like go and take out this character, go and take out this character, protect these characters, and then there's side quests you can do for villagers and things like that. There's so many different places you can go to. Yes, the world does feel a bit empty, but I've got to say, what Dynasty Warriors this is set in ancient China, so don't be expecting, you know, big open places with loads and loads of things. It is quite basic in that sense, but I don't mind that. I really don't. It's still got that repetitiveness to it, but at the same time, it's new enough for it to be something different. I've got to say, what I really like is how you've got this massive open world, but when you're doing scenarios, you've just got all of your like your allies and your enemies all over the massive open world, fighting at different places, going for battlefields, attacking castles, defending castles, and I really like that. It reminds me of something like a strategy game kind of thing, like Total War, one of those sort of games, how you've got this massive battlefield in real time and people are going around the battlefield, and you know, it's kind of like how it would be, you know. Some people have complained that it doesn't feel like the normal Warriors, where it comes with, you know, thousands and thousands of people on the screen at once, and sometimes you're just fighting small groups of people at bases. But that's not true, guys. Yes, you will find smaller groups of enemies and things like that, but if you go, I've got a hair in my fucking tongue. But if you go to like the main battles where you're fighting on the castles and stuff, that's where you're going to get all of the people, and you still get all those thousands of enemies and stuff like that. So it still has that, but it's not as contained, so it's spread out, which I like, actually. Again, you can level up your character, level up the weapons, craft new weapons. You get like gems which you can imbue to each of your abilities, so give them extra like elemental abilities. And what I like is they brought back the bow. Yes, you can now use the bow again, kind of like in Dynasty Warriors 2, remember that. And there's some, obviously, you can go off and do side quests, like for normal villagers, like someone might say, oh, can you take out this small group of enemies that are trying to attack us, or can you take out these animals? Yes, animals are in the game. You can hunt in this game and go fishing. It's nothing amazing on that side of the things. It isn't really in-depth on that side of things, but it's a nice effort. It's something a bit different in the Warrior series, and I love the new combo system. It's really not a really special RPG. I wouldn't compare it to something like The Witcher or something. Don't be expecting something like The Witcher where it's just really well done, you know, where there's so much going on at once. It is more of a basic game, but for the Warriors series, it is a step in the right direction. Now, that might be a controversial comment right there, and for everyone that don't like this game, I completely understand why you probably don't like it. But me personally, I'm always open to trying something new. And because there's so many Warriors games, and especially Dynasty Warriors, it seems like 7 and 8 were very similar. And then like 4 and 5 and 3 were very similar. So it's nice to finally have a Dynasty Warriors game that is completely different. This is nothing like Dynasty Warriors 8. I know some people swear by Dynasty Warriors 8, and Dynasty Warriors 8 is a fantastic Warriors game. But I can understand why Koei and Omega Force wanted to try something new. Yes, here's where the game sort of got its bad reputation from, and a lot of people say it's the worst Warriors game in the series, because a lot was promised in this game, and like I said, the game can be very buggy at times, especially if you're playing the unupdated version. I have noticed, because I was playing the version 1.0 for a couple of weeks, for about a week or so before I could update my console, obviously, and the new update has added some new things, like you can do emotes and stuff like that, and a bunch of new elements into the game. Another thing that people didn't really like about the games, like I said, is the battlefields just seemed open and there weren't really a lot to do. It's one of those games, you're either going to love this game or hate it. I love it, personally. I really am enjoying this game. And want to know why this game is absolutely amazing in terms of value? Guys, there's about 90 characters to play as in this game. And I've got to say, guys, every character has their own ending. It's crazy. Now, I will say how it works is you can select a scenario. So select your army, Wu Jin, Shu, Wei or other, and then you select your character, and then obviously you play as that character. And some characters will only have, say, 1 or 2 scenarios that they can do. So I did Sun Jian's campaign, and he only had 2 scenarios, whereas I played as Cao Cao the other day on my first playthrough, and he had 8 scenarios. So the variety is definitely there in terms of each character is going to have their own campaign, their own ending. So in a way, some campaigns where they only have 1 or 2 scenarios is only going to take you maybe a few hours, whereas other ones are going to take you about 20 to 30 hours, and times that by 90, it's crazy. There is so much replay value. With the Warriors series, we always get good replay value. Plus, there's a lot of things you can find and update and stuff like that. Get all these different horses, different weapons, trying to get everything in the game, as what happens when it comes to Warriors game. But that was the biggest selling point for me personally, is that each character has their own particular ending. Yes, some characters you will go off and do some of the same missions with the different characters, but the fact that each character has their own ending and there's 90 characters to play as, you're looking at about 300 to 400 hours worth of gameplay here if you want to get everyone. And I am actually going to try and get every single character's ending. I'm on my 3rd character now. I've already done Cao Cao and I've done Sun Jian. And now I'm on Liu Bei. I know Liu Bei is probably going to have a longer campaign because he's one of the main characters. Sun Jian, on the other hand, was only 2 campaigns because unfortunately he's one of the characters that don't really make it too far in the universe. But very, very happy that this game has a lot of replay value. Another problem this game had when it first came out is it was only 1 player, but the game has since been updated and now you can play split screen co-op and also online co-op. So if anyone wants to play online co-op, let me know. Feel free to add me at TheMadKaiger, Kiger1324 on PlayStation, sorry. I still haven't updated my PlayStation name. Or have I? No. I can't remember, actually. It might still be Kiger1324. So, definitely, if anyone wants to play this with me, let me know. I'll be happy to. So Dynasty Warriors 9, guys. It's a step in the right direction. I'm going to give Koei and Tecmo and Omega Force a big thumbs up from me because they really did try something different. Yes, it's a hit and miss in some senses. Some people hate it, some people love it. Yes, the game does have 3 season passes. It is a bit of an expensive when it comes to DLC, which, you know, get what you normally get with your Warriors games, you know, extra weapons, scenarios, costumes and all of that sort of stuff. Am I going to get all 3 season pass? Maybe. I might delve in. But obviously, I've got a bunch of PlayStation 4 games that I want to play as well as just this one, but when I get my hard drive I'll be able to sort of switch up and play other games as well, sort of limited on what I can play at the moment. But Dynasty Warriors 9, for me personally, I really like the fact that the game's tried something new. I like the new combat. I like the fact that there's loads and loads of endings in the game, so lots of hours worth of gameplay. Great game for someone who doesn't have a lot of money but wants to get the most out of their games. I'll definitely recommend this one because there's a lot of value. As with all the Warriors games, there's so much replay value. That's one thing that the Warriors series is well known for, is having a lot of replay value in terms of trying to get everything, and many hours worth of gameplay time can be wasted in this game series. And yes, the game, I will say this, this game does have English, Japanese and Chinese voiceovers. I will say the English voiceovers are terrible. That's one of the gripes I had. They don't use the same voice actors for the last English game, which makes sense because the last Dynasty Warriors game where they had English voice, I think was 7 or 6. But you can play it in Japanese or Chinese. I've changed up to the Chinese voiceovers because this game's set in China, so a little bit more authenticity with that. And obviously, Samurai Warriors would be Japanese. Yes, the last few Dynasty Warriors games have used Japanese voice actors, but it's nice that they've actually added Chinese voice actors, which I believe was added. Which I believe is was original when it first came out as well, had Chinese voice actors. So I'm glad that they have got the Chinese and the Japanese, if you're into that sort of thing. Me personally, I find the Chinese voice actors to be the most authentic. You're playing a game set in ancient China. The English voice acting is terrible, and it doesn't really make sense for them to be speaking Japanese, even though it's a Japanese company, but nonetheless. So Dynasty Warriors 9, I'm going to give this game an 8 out of 10. That's high for me, and I know I might get a lot of backlash on that one, but the main reason I give it an 8 out of 10 is just because of the amount of value time I've put into this game, and it's a nice step up in the right direction. It's not perfect. There is a lot of problems with the game, which I've already mentioned, so just be aware that when you play this game, don't be expecting something on the Witcher 3 levels. Be expecting something a little bit on the more budgeted side, but at the same time you get a lot of value for your money in terms of this game. I can understand why people were pissed off when they paid 50-60 quid for this game and had all those issues. But this game's only about £15-20 now, so it's not really that much of an issue for me personally. Yes, there are better games out there, and don't get me wrong, there are better Warriors games out there in terms of overall functionality. In terms, I think Samurai Warriors 4 is a really good series as well. But overall, very happy with this game. I'm kind of pissed off that when I first got it, I didn't play it at first. But now that I've got it back and I've put in some time into it, I definitely will be putting more time into this. But yeah, so that's the Dynasty Warriors 9 review. It's the latest in the Dynasty Warriors series. Are we going to get a 9 Empires? I would like to see a Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires. It would be awesome to have the China, a massive map, and then, you know, the overworld and stuff like that. And how it works is each time you go to invade someone's place, you go into the open world, but you have to I don't know. It could work. We might see a Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires. If they do, I will be getting that, of course. What could we expect from the next Dynasty Warriors? If they are going to do 10, I don't know. I would like to see them carry on with the open world aspect and make it more RPG, which I do like. But I can understand why some people want them to go back to basics, back to what they're known for. But yeah, Dynasty Warriors 9, thumbs up from me. Really fun game. I'm really enjoying it. I know it's not for everyone. Sorry if you guys don't like this game. This is my personal opinions on it. I am a bit of a Warriors fanboy, so sorry about that. But nonetheless, guys, that's that. I finished watching the Samurai Warriors anime last night. I really enjoyed it, actually. It followed the game very well. And I really enjoyed it. Check it out on Crunchyroll. And I started watching 07 Ghost as well yesterday. I watched the first episode, so that's my next anime. I might do a review on the Samurai Warriors anime, actually. So if you guys want me to do reviews on anime and manga, let me know. I've also been reading Gantz Z as well, which is a really good manga. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, feel free to leave a like. And, of course, comment below. Let me know, have you played Dynasty Warriors 9? Do you like it? Don't you like it? Let me know your reasons for or against it. Constructive criticism. I don't want people to just slag off the game and just say it's a piece of shit and why are you playing it kind of thing. If you don't like the game, that's fair enough, but bear in mind I do. And of course, guys, if you want to play Dynasty Warriors 9 with me on PS4, let me know in the comments below. Give me your your PlayStation membership, or just add me, and we can get down to business, I guess. And yeah, I will see. And of course, guys, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already and join the family. And as always, check me out on Twitter and Instagram at TheMadKaiger for updates to the channel and other such things. And of course, I will be doing some live streams come next week. I will be getting my hard drive for PlayStation 4 on Monday, so I'll be able to install pretty much every PlayStation 4 game that I own. And then we can start doing some live streams and playthroughs of the PlayStation 4 games. Anyway, guys, as always, have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye.